Alright, this is Goose, bringing you another sketchbook tour. I'm excited to present this sketchbook that I just recently finished. It is a moleskin, really cool looking book. I was kind of disappointed when I first got it just because I was hoping that the interior pages were that hardstock moleskin, but instead it's kind of that soft, not that heavy paper, but I've learned to love that texture. I've learned how to work with it. So if you're ever curious about that type of paper, just because it's not hard stock and like heavy where you can do a lot of multimedia stuff, doesn't mean that it's bad. So definitely try it out. And let's get started. So I do like decorating my sketchbooks now with stickers that come across. So things that I acquire product-wise that go fit. I think this was from a book for journal keeping for fitness, and then all these other little stickers here. I got it from the Adobe Max conference. So I just decided to decorate it. It looks pretty cool. All right. When you open up these books, it's always telling you information about yourself in case this gets lost. Who do I bring this back to? It's Goose, and your reward is like a lot of love, and I mean that. All right. So let's go. Let's get started. Just a little message. If you see this, it's because you're using your eyes. Just a message that I send to myself whenever I am illustrating from reference, to always look at the reference and study it before I just dive in, and see where things line up and see how things see what the ratio is between items or subjects. So you want to check and make sure that certain portions fit other portions. So that's what I mean by using your eyes. So this right here is just a bunch of little sketches and works. This right here is a bunch of sketches and words that I'm not the best letterer, but it doesn't mean that I can't try, and I try. Sometimes they turn out cool, and other times they're pretty lame. But you don't know unless you try. So I follow up this. This is pretty cool just because these are all coming from my imagination. I think I used that as a reference for a cup that I had. Apple used as a reference. State to Florida. But everything else is right here are just characters made up from the imagination, stuff that I've acquired in my visual library. This is one of my favorite projects that I've stumbled on. There is and I found this on Pinterest. There's a Pinterest out there that shows you like close to 50 faces that goes from like African descent all the way to like Asian, Caucasian, to Spaniard. It's just really cool to see the different faces and how faces are structured, according to the region that you're looking at, and it's just fascinating. The lips are different, the nose is different, the nasal area is different, eyes, the brows, the forehead, the chin, the cheekbone, all that great stuff. It's there, and it's pretty cool. To kind of study. Abyssine, English. A lot of these ones I've never really heard of. The Tartars, the Finns, French. This right here, I got a little bit more detail. As you can see, these They're kind of quick, you know, trying to capture a feature. These I've spent a little bit more time trying to shade, get some good contrast, a good value study. Move on to the next one. Like I said, I'm not the best not the best one to write letters, but you know, I try. This right here, I probably could have done some more doodles. And for some reason, I'm into boxes these days. Probably need, you know, to practice my boxes because they don't look too sharp sometimes. Set your own standards. That's a little graphic, traditional medium that I did. Spider-Man. There's the thing in the background. Here's some more of those faces. Different origins. Lips. Gotta do lips once in a while. Sometimes I'm really great at doing lips. Other times I suck. I can't capture that characteristic, that trait. So for me, I just have to study, you know, especially when I'm frustrated. The best thing that I can do is just sit down and do a bunch of mouths, a bunch of lips, till I feel comfortable when approaching the next project. Here's some more that I've done from just imagination. Here's a character that I was trying to work on. Used a little ink. And the ink pen that I like to use, let me see if I don't have it, but I think I referenced it the previous sketchbook tour, and it's really great because it doesn't bleed through. I mean, you still kind of see it, but it's not too distracting where, see right here, this goes all the way through. And this is, you know, like a typical ink pen that I would use because it just has a good flow of ink. But if you're not careful, you will bleed through. This other pen that I'm talking about, the ballpoint isn't hard. It is a little stiff, but it's not hard to where it won't penetrate the paper. So here's some more caricatures that I did from imagination. Also, I like going into Instagram, seeing what other people do face-wise, and then I like to copy it, and then maybe from that copy I can spark something new creation. Here's some more. And these are things I've created. This here is my Intuos pen, which is not centered properly. Here's some more imagination one, and also using that blue pencil. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's got a cool look to it. This right here, I started with that blue, and then I came back with a heavier pencil. I prefer using these mechanical pencils. This one here is a 0.7 millimeter. So it's not as detailed as a 0.5, but it's thick enough so I can make some heavy lines, but not thin enough to where I can't see it. Sometimes when you go too thin, you can't see your lines, and it just makes for a bad illustration. Here's some more little studies. Here was something I tried doing with my ink pen, of just drawing my setup at work. Here's some more, just drawing with ink pen. These I think are reference from Instagram. There's a pretty cool one. I saw this caricature of Pele, which was awesome, phenomenal. I just love exaggerating some features, leaving others subtle, and just makes for great art. Here is a concept work that I did for some of the characters that I'm working on. Here are some more faces. I love doing faces. I can do faces all day. I do get to a point where I kind of have face fatigue, and I need to stop and just call it a day and come back the next day with that same spirit to create more. This right here is just a bunch of random. I think right here is God of War, just a really quick sketch. Something really basic of the female model. Alright. More faces, as you can see right here. I think I was doing a face of a character that I'm working on, and I was doing different styles. Styles is, boy, I could spend a whole entire month trying to come up with a character and illustrating that person or that character in so many different styles. There's so many styles out there that, you know, when I come upon that style, and I guess I haven't yet, I think I'll know it by then, hopefully. Here's some more practicing of my letters. Lettering. I'm not sure why I cannot say that word. Alright, here's some studies of superheroes. It's a very thin Gambit, Batman, Wolverine. And then this one's a more realistic Gambit, and also a Batman. There's a Game of Thrones, Jon Snow. And here is Catwoman in costume, and Catwoman without costume. Here's some faces that I did. Here's a cool little sketch I did. It's one of those conceptual sketches where I'll draw something and mix it with something else and just do random drawings, which they turn out pretty cool. Like here's an arm, here's a person from a top view looking over, and this is a lady's back. Here's a forearm. Here's another arm extended, pushing on this square with these two hands cupped together and this guy's eyes piercing through. And there's a bison. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it's great to just doodle, you know, and don't care about it. And sometimes they just land perfect and they tell a story, which is really great at that point. Here's some more sketches. Here's a caricature that I did right here. I'm not sure if I go to the gym every morning, and there's characters in there. I don't think this guy's from the gym. It's probably a Pinterest pin that someone drew, you know, exaggerating his character features. This right here, I think it's that character Wednesday from, gosh, it's a Star TV show. I forget the name of it, but it's about gods. It's pretty cool. I think he's called Wednesday, but I think he's really Odin. Oh, here's a better one of Odin, played by Shane. I forget his last name, but once you see this guy, you're like, oh, I know that guy. Here's this quick little sketch I did of this lady in her evening gown. This guy's also on that show. I think he's like deaf or something. Not like hearing deaf, but like with the concept of death, life and death. Here's a Sagat that I did just from imagination. Here's a little comic strip that I started, never really finished it. Some more little doodles. Here's a little caricature of myself, how I see myself. I'm not sure if I'm too accurate with that. Some other caricatures, faces. Like I said, faces. Look at these angles, these lines where they go, you know, sloping down and they cut back and then slope again, cut back. You know, they're just really cool to see. Here's a cat in that blue, red look. Here's some more faces. Working on a little perspective right there. Here's another cat. And I have a cat that looks similar to this guy here, but my cat is just, he's hairy. He's got a lot of fur, so he would look a lot more like this. But he still has that pathetic little look to his face whenever he's hungry. Here's another quick sketch that I did. This is a concept. I started to work on this painting. I never finished, but it was my two cats at the time. This is Keanu. He passed away last year. Rest in peace, R.I.P. I miss him. And then this is his little brother, Kylo. He's still around. He still looks like that. I never got to finish it. I didn't really like where it was going, so I started over again. But this is inspired by Pulp Fiction. You see the two characters here. Samuel Jackson and John Travolta. Some more little sketches. Working with other colors. This right here, you know, I had this thing where I'm not too careful when it comes to lining it up. I tend to go further this way. See right here, her head's lopsided. I really should be coming back more and centering it, you know, coming from here. And I have this natural, when I create lines, sometimes I create lines like this. This is very exaggerating, where I should be creating more lines up and down. Even then, look. So I really struggle with that. It's something that I try to be aware of. Sometimes I'm not, and I really don't realize it till it's done. Here's some eyes that I did to study. Here's this section here. Well, no, it's about to start, but I have a section where I just drew faces, and these faces, they're coming from Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, just faces that pictures that I can use reference and study. You know, this one turned out pretty nice as far as the profile. Nozaki, I'm not here. We're not here. Here are some more faces, face studies. Here we have beasts. I think I came across a beast post or a beast pin on Pinterest. I thought to myself, hey, I haven't done beasts in a while. Let's do beasts. Here is a Atlanta Braves hitter or player. His name is Ender Inciarte. Pretty cool guy. Here is just a body study that I was doing, and this is just coming from the top of my head, just because I've done so many of these figures that it's, you know, it's ingrained to where I could just, you know, crank them out. Here's some more figures. Here's a female figure. Left and right, pretty much the same thing. Here's Guile from Street Fighter. I love doing Street Fighter characters. You'll see a lot of them in my sketchbooks. Here is just a scene that I was sketching really quick. There's some falls, water, some rocks and whatnot. All right. Here is actually, this is a house layout. It's really rough. You can see here the doors leading to rooms and closets and so on. Some more sketches of faces done in ink. Doing stuff in ink I think it just makes you better overall as far as an artist. Yeah, it's great to use pencil, you can shade, but there's something about when you use an ink pen, you're making a mark, and if you go really light, you can get away with it and then come back dark. But sometimes, you know, if you're not being careful, you can make a mistake and hopefully you learn from the mistake enough to stop committing. Also with the ink pen, you can make some very pronounced marks. Like I said, it's permanent. It's not something where in this, whenever you F up, you erase. You know, this you can't erase, so you have to be a little bit more careful. So your thought process, this helps you out in that process. Here's some more inks. And just, you know, stuff that I just wanted to draw. I mean, there's no specific, and I love doing human bodies, there's no specific goal, but just to place marks on the paper. Here's some more faces, and then this is part of my character. Here's some more of my character. And hopefully they all look similar or somewhat like. Here I started to give them some more details or more of a backstory. Still working. This is Chad, this is Stan. Alright, here's some more Street Fighter characters. Brawlock and Ken. He's pretty tough to play with, because I've seen some guys that can play the shit out of Balrog. You play the shit out of Balrog, and Ken, I think he's just a staple character where everybody picks him up and they can do some really cool stuff and damage with the guy. But these characters that, you know, nobody picks, and then you have that one guy that picks him and just masters his skills. Kudos to those players out there. Here's some more X-Men's, and there's a Two-Face right there with a Joker, Wolverine. Here's Chad again. And each time I do Chad, I figure out something that makes him unique. Chad is not a good guy. Although you want to root for him, he's one of those characters that fucks up all the time, you know. And you hate to see characters like that fuck up when they really mean well, but life just has it in their cards to just fuck up. Here's a Wolverine Sabretooth. This one's pretty cool just because you can see them kind of yelling back and forth. These are concepts for paintings that I've done. And I think I'm done with this one. Have yet to do this one here. Done that one. Yet to do this one. Haven't done this one. Done this one. Not yet. Have done. Not yet. I've done this one. Not yet. Not yet. Done this one. Done that one. Done that one. Not yet. Done that one. Not yet. Done this one. Not yet. Not yet. Yes. 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 You know, and sometimes I have to just break it down. Just keep doing it till I figure it out. Here's a creature that just looks horrible, and I'm okay with that. Some more faces. I think that's me right there. This is just a quick sketch of me and my wife when we're in Spain. Here's some bodies. Here's more of a cartoon-like Chad. This one's pretty cool right here. More Chad. Here's the beginning concept of a superhero. And I love doing comics. I love doing superheroes. And if you follow me on Facebook, once in a while I'll do a superhero drawing where if you're responsive and you respond to the message that I set up, as far as like you know, if you like this and that and you know, say this, then you'll have a chance to become a superhero. And within I try to do it as soon as possible, but within a month I'll have your superhero customized with your superhero powers and colors. It's pretty cool. A lot of people get a kick out of it, and yeah, I'll continue it until I have no response whatsoever. At that point, I think I'll hang it up. But so far, people do respond, and like I said, I get a kick out of it. Here's just an action of a person running forward. Here's a stance. This right here, it's a I use these watercolor inks or watercolor brushes. Not the best as far as with, like, after a period of time they start to bleed a lot, and I'm not talking about like bleeding on paper, but the tip itself of these washing watercolors, the brush, they seem not to work out. Here's some more sketches just from my head. This is a superhero that I was constantly just working at, and this is a I think hobby won it back in March, right? No, but yeah, back in April or so. So I did his caricature. Here is a study of a painting that is actually in progress. Here's just studying skeletal with no leg, or here's a study of the skeleton with no leg, no arms. This right here, I did it in this style, and then did it in this style, and then actually just two, one more, but I did it in this style and then with this style. Same pose, just different way of approaching it. I did paint this one. This one's completed. This one's not completed, or not yet to be painted. Here's some more eyes and nose or whatnot. Faces, like I said, faces is my favorite. Here is a Harrington that I just love the way it was posed and the structure of it, so I drew it. Here is just a pose, a profile. Here's a quick sketch using ink. Some more faces. And, you know, this guy looks like he's trouble, bad news. More faces. This is actually a drawing of me when I was a little kid. Here's adult goose. Here is a face that came across. I'm not sure who that is. Some more faces. I think this is both the same face. I just had to redraw it until I got it figured out. I painted her. Didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be, but I'm still working on it. Here's some more faces. I could definitely, this is a face from the top of my head. This guy too. I think this one here is reference. It's a reference there. Try to do an original face. Reference. Actually painted her. Here's another reference. Reference here. This is Elvis. This is Angelina. You can tell by her lips, and wider jaw. Reference, but I'm not sure what reference there. This is a young Christopher Walken. He's a cool guy. Reference, I'm not sure what reference these here. But they all have distinctive features. That's what makes them interesting. Like I said, lips, I'll struggle with it, but you know what? I'll draw a shitload of them until I figure it out. Here's some caricatures that I was practicing, cartoon style. Here's an original character, Dell. I like what it did right here. I don't know if I executed it right, but actually this guy has one too many fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. This needs to be just, there you go. I'm not sure how that happened, but here are multiple faces. More of the characters, original characters. It's Kristen. This is a post on Instagram. Of course, she's taking a selfie. There's cats. I think that's more of a coyote. Faces, original faces, mixed in with, you know, little caricatures on Pinterest that I've come across that I just thought were cool, so I drew. More references. And this is an original reference, if I'm not mistaken. Here's more references. I used to work with Paige at Apple. Reference. For my Instagram, she posted more faces. And my faces, I think they're starting to become a little bit more composed. You know, it's just practice. I'm definitely feeling these faces from here. Here I did try using pen for my illustrations here. These turn out really good. I like those. I like those perspective illustrations where this is a worm view looking up. I love these lines they produce with this pen where it's just going back and forth and tell a pretty good story. And it's like, I'm really amazed by some of the drawings I've come across where they do this super detailed, like beautiful artwork, all done in this ballpoint pen. I'm just amazed, like how talented people are out there, or how skilled they are with something that's, you know, just ordinary. Like you have this tool laying around your house, and you know, it's super amazing what people can crank out. Here's a more saga on messed up his structure. Should be a little bit more like that. More references out there. I like these little squares I did. I think these are just post-its where I just placed it on here and then outlined it, placed it here, outlined it. It gets me a nice perfect square. Here's some more references, Instagram post. I'll just redraw. This one's pretty cool. Again, not the best letters out there, but I tried. Here is some original concept. I really like this Dell here. You know, he's not a good guy. You don't root for him. He is just, you know, he is just out there because bad people are out there. And it's not, to serve for the greater good. It's not to serve, for the better good, but it's still out there. Alright, there's a pretty cool Zelda I came across. I should ink him a little bit more so he really pops out. He kind of then disappears. Some more sketches, some more of that square posted. Some pretty cool ones. As you can see right here, I went back to pencil. I'm not too consistent on what type of tool I choose, but whatever works, whatever I feel like it, I guess. Sometimes I feel like pencil, sometimes I feel like ink, or sometimes I'll do both. As long as I produce something that I like, I really don't care what medium I use. Here's a pretty cool Akuma dip with ballpoint pen. Some more study of Dell. You see right here, the same face structure we did over here. Some more face studies. I like this face right here. I think I saw this and I was like, oh, this is so interesting, let me draw her. And so I did. This is a character that I really need to develop a little bit more. I'm a big fan of Kroll Show, and he has this character called Bobby Bottle Service. But I was thinking of this painter named Bobby Rossi. Kind of like Bob Ross, but he's Bobby. Instead of bottle service, he's Bobby Rossi. It'd be really cool because there's a lot of sexual innuendos in art, and he definitely plays into that scheme. Here's some more faces. This one got a little bit more detailed, and I think I used these pencils right here. These pencils they're supposed to give you the blackest of the black without actually using charcoal. This is still graphite, but they do make very strong marks. And what's different about this, supposedly these will reduce that shine. When you can kind of see it, when you do graphite, there's always that sheen, depending on how the light hits, you can get this very sheen, and you lose the lines or you lose the art piece until you bring it back to the right lighting where you can see it. These are supposed to reduce that sheen. Here's some more little sketches. What's that? Did that from imagination. Definitely from imagination. I didn't finish. This one I looked, I copied this one. Say imagination on that one. Here's some notes. Once in a while, I'll take notes. You gotta take notes. Face, I think, is a little one of those vending machines with bottles. Well, not a vending machine, but a little refrigerator, commercial refrigerator. Here are more of my characters of Chad. You're very familiar. This is Dell, but I'm going to change his name to Claude. Catherine, it's Candace right here. Some more practice. This one I did with ink pen. Raw you right there, like I said. Kind of doing Street Fighter stuff. This is something that I need to do more of. It's just, as you can tell from my sketchbook, I do people a lot. It's something that I need to I need to work, I need to work on is buildings and things that are not organic, that don't have that curve. I need to be able to do lines, connect them and do things that are non-organic, and be able to compose sceneries and buildings and whatnot. I really struggle with that. I'm trying to work things out right now, or for the future. Here is some more stuff. Just body study with Batman there. This is like Super Flash or Hulk Flash. Two-Face. More faces. Some X-Men poses. This is something I don't do too often. I try to implement it, but just being able to draw across the pages and it doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of mess up over here, but I just find it very neat when I do see that in sketchbooks, and I'm thinking to myself, "Damn, that's creative." I need to start doing that. And a sad attempt, but I think I did somewhat. Here's some sketches I did with a red pencil. So I just love using these red pencils, and you mix it up with a red ballpoint, and you can get some really great, fantastic results when you combine these two tools together. Here's this, I don't do too much, but this is watercolor. This is actually a scene of a forest, or scene of what? This is actually a scene of a golf course in Alabama, Fairview, Alabama. Pretty tough golf course, if you ask me. Here's some more of those sketches with this pencil, but some of these, or a lot of these sketches here, they also include this ink pen. Like I said, you can get some really great results. Here's some more notes with boxes and whatnot. Just a quick sketch. Here's another quick sketch. Here is a scene from a courtroom. I'm working with these people. I'm not even sure if they're gonna go in a courtroom, but the client wanted something like this. I just did a quick sketch. More faces, body parts. Probably could have added more. Here's some poses, some bodies, some faces. Here's another character from that character chart that I'm working with. His name is Head. Or just decided to practice on my hands. And these aren't like your typical hands. These are very cartoony like, but still cool to look at. Also, I think I'm still getting the basic construction of a hand. I'm not venturing off too much. There's some more character creation. This guy, his name is Ringo. Very kooky looking guy. Here's Head, more Head. This is that character that I was working on for the superhero, becoming a superhero. This is Hobby, more concepts of Hobby. More faces, a little bit more details here. Definitely trying to work on perspective and how things will look, shape up. Spaces, comic strip. Going boom, boom, boom. Wonder Woman. There's a little Batman right there for you. Happy birthday for the Spider-Man fans out there. Some more faces. Combination of the here pencil and this red pencil. More sketches. More trying to develop a look for this graphic novel that I'm working on. Here is more Chad. See this right here? He is way off. Gosh. Right? So he would be more. And I'm so off. I'm not even sure if it could be corrected. Probably just redo him, but it was way over, more heavy on this side. Again, like I said, I struggle with that. I try to correct it, and it's a matter of just like being disciplined in it or just being lazy. Because the right way to do it is draw it this way, right? And line things up, but you're not gonna really see it true until you flip it over. You realize, okay, I need to cut it more here. And this is too much. See? But it's all about being disciplined and taking the extra little steps, correcting it, as opposed to just letting it slide and having it become a bad habit. So that concludes my sketchbook here. Like I said, these are moleskins. I also have a little pocket inside, which is kind of cool. You can just keep your, sometimes I'll keep my stickers here, or if I have Post-its, I'll stick them in there. Or if you tear something from a magazine, I don't even know if people still read magazines, but you can definitely slide it in here, keep it as a reference for later on. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed my sketchbook tour. This one is hopefully informative. I'll have more of these to come, so please subscribe, like, and also just subscribe and like the content that you see on here. It helps me out, lets me know that you guys are interested in seeing more sketchbook tours. Till then, this is Goose.